It's Madden NFL 22, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Bears and the Jets coming up next.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the river in Manhattan. They're set to go as their Jets will match up with the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, and Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like two losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by the final pick of the first round in 2018 out of Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson.
And he said he was feeling good in the lead up to the season, and he proved it in week one with 4 touchdown passes. Had the offense moving at peak efficiency right at the start of the year. Awfully impressive.
Jackson on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Wilson. The numbers for him from a week ago, and you figure that he'll probably be a big factor in this one as well.
No question about it, partner. We just saw it right there. They want to get him the ball in space and see what he can do after the catch.
On second down, it's Hall. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete.
Let's go. Let's do it.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now this throw caught left side. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. Big yardage that time for the Jets.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
On first down, it's Hall. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is...
Got a man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Elijah Moore, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Jets take 2. They'll kick the point after. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here now the Bears offense for their first drive of the game. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaking up on the play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. We'll check on his status when we get back. On 2nd down, Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working. But how about his vision to see where the play was going? Crashed down inside and tackled him for a loss.
And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points. 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And he'll give it here to his running back. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Here's the Jets punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Bears take over. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice, steady gain.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. He finds his man, complete. It's Watson. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right, you're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too. Now, that was a designed run. Now, remember, if a quarterback goes feet first, he's protected. But if he dives head first, he's not. On that play, he figured the risk was worth the reward.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. And Charles, of interest here, that last throw is going to put him over 20,000 yards passing for his career, and that's not a bad number.
You're exactly right about that, and even though it's nowhere near the top of the leaderboard, because when you think about it, Brady and Breeze, they've done that 4 times over. But when you hit 20,000, let's face it, only a little over 100 guys have ever done that in the NFL. It's worthy of some applause.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Play action. It's Fields going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked by Julian Love. And the Jets are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. CD, he tried to kind of lob that one in there. It looked pretty going through the air. The problem was it was in the air a little bit too long.
Yeah, that's a tough one because for that type of a route and what he tried to do and needed to do, he had to put a little air under it, and the defender was actually able to take advantage of it because it hung up there just long enough for him to get there and take it away.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Jackson now off the bootleg. Throw left side complete. That's Hall. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
They'll run on 1st down. Hall. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. Uses his stiff arm. And all the way down inside the 25 before he's out of bounds. 44 yards rushing for him now to this point. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
It's a 4-yard pickup with 3rd and 5.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Second and 8. Fields going to hold on to it. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw is Fields. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. A shotgun snap, Fields. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And Fields going to have the 1st down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact. Got exactly what they wanted there out of the RPO and had the defense out of position.
One word for you there. Excellent. Because he read all the keys properly, made the right decision, and look at the result. Pretty substantial game.
A pretty good-looking run there on 1st down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run. The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run this one in. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now it's Fields off the bootleg. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more?
Touchdown! A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Bears draw a bit closer. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside.
From the pistol, they run it with Cook. Despite the strong run, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Back to throw, Fields. And a throw right sideline is complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A big connection on that one. 32 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone, I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use...
Open man, he finds Kmet. Touchdown, Chicago.
Great job. Touchdown for Dames.
Cole Kmet there to make the grab. And the Bears will extend their lead. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2, and they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and that makes it a 21-10 game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And he's got the hook up to Moore. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. To throw again is Jackson. Got a man here, it's Wilson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this from 34. And his kick here is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
From the 6. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And that one, pretty one-sided. 21-3 the score at halftime. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. From there, let's head to Philly to see what's happening with the Eagles. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. The Giants already 1-0, trying to make it 2 straight as they lead on the road. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. Cam Akers, 2 touchdown runs on the afternoon. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Bears. And it's been the passing game that's